Hello and welcome to In20 with me, Roshan Narayan. If you're watching us on YouTube, do turn on the notifications, please, because we need all the love and support. And if you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, thank you very much. And as usual, if you do join us, you'll spend the next 20 minutes or less with a couple of friends of mine. Today, it is Shalin. Thank you so much for joining us, Shalin. I know it's been a pretty busy time for all of us in terms of us being full-time parents with all the Zoom classes, the online classes. How was it for you?
Well, it's been pretty okay actually, because she's
Okay.
been quite independent, but I just have to make sure that's the only tab she opens on the computer.
Yeah, your daughter's 9 years old, Aliyah. We did have a chance to talk
Yes.
earlier on. She's a young lady, soon to be a boss as well. But that's something a lot of people forget when they see people like you. They're international athletes. You've been busy winning titles since 1993. We'll get into that very soon. But they forget this
Yeah.
human aspect of athletes. There is a family out there. There's sacrifices made by people such as yourself to
Yes.
be away from your family. How hard is that?
It's pretty hard actually especially when I first started bowling again after giving birth. The first day, the first week of training was really hard because I would leave her at my mom's house while I train, and then the first time I did that, I was like when I left her there, and then when I went out, she was like crying. It was like my heart broke there and then. So after that 1 week, then I asked my coach, can I bring her to train when I and he said, yeah. So as long as she doesn't interfere. So she was when I was training, she was at the back in her stroller sleeping.
Oh wow. That's so cool because my,
Yeah,
my my daughter was an
yeah,
absolute rocket. I never slept whatsoever. But that's so heartbreaking in terms of being a parent. When I used to go out for work, or this is technically work as well. When you leave your daughter, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, she starts crying and she says, "Daddy, don't go," and then your heart breaks and you're like,
yes,
"What do you do?"
yes,
But when she was there, was it hard to focus as well? Like, because I mean, might have been bowling and then going like, "Is she okay? She's okay. Is
yeah,
she okay? Is she
yeah.
okay?"
But fortunately, I had like my husband Azidi with me. So like either one of us, whenever we will make sure that either one of us is around, if the other one is working. So in that sense, we didn't have much of a problem because we didn't have a maid. So and we didn't want one. So we just both of us took care of her, and then just brought her everywhere we went actually. But the difficult part was like I started competing again overseas. So when I
Mm.
had to leave her for quite some time, but luckily now with the technology that we have, I was able to FaceTime and all things. But she's been really good. Like even when I was training, she has been like a really godsend baby because she'll now never cry or like like expect
Wow.
me to like carry her. She'll just know like when she hears the pin, she'll just like it's like music to her ears. She'll just sleep, and then when as soon as I'm done training, she'll wake up. Yeah, so I didn't have so much of a problem with that. And when I travel away, also she's like, okay, she'll never cry. Say, oh no, don't leave me, kind of thing. Yeah.
Because mommy's away, and guess what's going to happen when you're not in the house? She's going to enjoy herself. But
Yeah, with
would you
daddy.
would you encourage her to follow in your footsteps?
Only if she likes it, but as you spoke to her just now, she doesn't like to bowl.
Yeah,
She
she
likes
was commenting.
sports.
She loves sports. Okay, that's cool. As
She
she
loves
what
sports. Every other
football?
sport, no, she likes, she's into golf, swimming,
There's a,
taekwondo. She's green belt in taekwondo.
okay, she
Yeah,
can beat me up then. And there's a lot of money in golf. Would one of the
yeah,
big reasons, and if you hope, I hope you don't mind me asking, one of the biggest reasons as
yeah.
well is, I mean, there is this thing in Malaysia. Football gets a lot of money if you're an athlete. There's a possibility with tennis and golf, but does bowling get enough and more support from the government to pursue your dreams and get paid well to take care of yourself and your family?
Compared to other sports, in Malaysia, I would say we are somewhere ranked somewhere in the middle. Because we're not an Olympic sport, so even though with all the achievements that we have, unfortunately, we are still seen as like slightly lower ranked than Olympians, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. But compared to other countries, yes, we do earn enough to support ourselves. But to compete overseas, like in the professional market, currently it's kind of a bit difficult to do because we need more funding for that. But fortunately, the last 3 to 4 years, we were able to get some funding to play in some of the tournaments, but not the full season because if you were to bowl the full professional season, it would really cost a lot for one person. Yeah,
So that
but that's what
return
my dream one day.
to change the whole landscape of bowling, as in to pursue your dream where you get enough and more financial backing to complete an entire season.
Yes, because I was the first one to compete and be exempt on tour in 2009. I was really close to winning a title in the majors, the US Open. I came in second and third.
Yeah.
So I'm still, that's one of the things that's still missing from my trophy cabinet, a professional title, and they call it a banner because in the States, once you win a title on Pro Tour, they have like a banner of your name and
Wow.
they'll hang it in every stop that you do. So that's one of the things I still aim for.
That's, I mean, how far are you from accomplishing that goal?
Um, Not that far, but I have to bowl because like usually we only bowl like 4 stops, 4 or 3 stops. So usually by the time you get warmed up, it's already like the last stop or the second last stop. So because a lot of them like they gain momentum from the first tournament, the first stop, which is usually in April. But we usually join only like after a month of the tour starting. So you're kind of like uh, somewhere not really in the middle, but then the tour still continues after when we leave. So
Yeah.
it's just like going there for exposure kind of thing to raise up your level. But then you can compete there, but you just need more time, like compared to everyone else. Because we travel a lot from state to state in the States, so you just need your
Mm.
time and get into the rhythm and the groove, and then yeah.
Yeah, but for some, just hearing this, and from a person who's well accomplished, I mean, you just have to go onto your Wikipedia page, let alone Google. You, like I said, you've been representing Malaysia. You've been winning titles since 1993. That is heartbreaking to hear someone at your level say that, you know what, I would like to play a bit more. I'd like to play longer. I would like to finish a season. That, for anybody who doesn't understand bowling, is like, you know what, if you follow Manchester United or Liverpool, let's stop halfway and forget about the rest. Let's not do anything. That is, would you say that's an accurate way of describing what you've just expressed is the biggest problem?
um no, probably it depends on how you look at it, I think.
I
Yeah.
think it's a mistake. I know you can't mention because the problem here is the moment you raise your voice, it's like yesterday's news. If at all, if once you are done, with this career of yours, would you like to go behind the scenes and change how things are done and give perhaps an opportunity to the next generation to fulfill your dreams, perhaps because you're not been given that backing?
Actually, I've already started doing that kind of because I've already been involved in the administrative part of bowling because I started in I think 2000, early 2000s. I'm in the our state bowling association with some of our other ex-national bowlers. So we started there, and right now I'm also helping out in national association. I'm the assistant secretary while still being an athlete as well. And actually, a lot of them are already given the opportunity that I didn't get because in 2009, when I first became Malaysia's first professional bowler on the PBA tour, on the women's tour, I had to fund myself. until I was able to prove that I had results before help and funding from MSN and ISN. So I guess it's kind of fair, but at that time I didn't really think about the funding. I know that I wanted to compete on tour, and I didn't care whether anyone was like funding me or not. I'm going there and I'm gonna chase my dreams, kind of thing. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Would you say the moment you found out that the cup was going to be called you the Shalin Cup, was that a moment going like, oh my goodness, I've actually accomplished something right now in the industry, just not in Malaysia, but perhaps globally for a competition to be named after you?
Yeah, actually I have to thank I have to thank Datuk Dina for that because I didn't really think about any of that. And then like Shalin said, oh, okay, we're gonna make a Shalin's Cup. Well, I think Milo's gonna support it. And they're like, yeah, we've already done for Nicole and for everyone else. So I want to do something for bowling, and I want the cup to be named after you. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I like at that time I didn't really like think of the implications or like what it was. I was like, oh, okay, it's cool. I have a tournament under my name, and I actually never thought that it would last. I think last year was our 13th or 14th year.
Yeah.
We had a few gaps in between because I was busy in the Asian and so on, so I wasn't able to help organize it. Because usually I'm really involved in organizing that junior tournament, uh, so it's really important for me to know and to like be a part in like every single decision. Um, but it's grown to a like really big event, especially here in Malaysia. All the youth are excited to come. Like every year, if like we don't announce that it will be at a certain date, and like, oh, is the Shine Cup going to be on this year? When is it? We have to make reservations and stuff like that. So I feel really blessed to
Mm.
have a lot of the kids and the moms still being excited about Charlene's Cup even after all these years. Because I mean, we don't really offer. The one thing about Charlene's Cup is I don't offer prize money for kids,
Mm.
because I think it's not a good way to
Yep.
motivate them to be the best they can be. So I guess there's a lot of gifts. So we try and keep the entry fee minimum, so that we can cover all the costs. But they get gifts, a lot of gifts like door gifts
Yep.
that you don't usually get from other tournaments.
Yep.
Because all my sponsors in with me, they send me stuff, and most of them are like limited edition stuff. And there's like it's just like a fun tournament for the kids. And like last year we had Sunway Megalane sponsoring, being one of the major sponsors to chip in, so the kids we could keep the entry fee to a minimum while the kids getting to play in a really
Well established environment.
really yes, really well established environment that where the World Championships was held, where the SEA Games was held, where all the big major tournaments and where the national team trains. But
You
I
know,
because I usually change venues, so it was nice to be able to bowl in Sunway last year.
I think with that tournament, as a parent, I would love also for it not to be money driven because you want your kid to be
Yeah,
good and even better in what they are.
yeah.
As you can tell, I'm turning 17 next month. Am I allowed to participate in this tournament, or is there an age gap?
You're a bit too old. You're 2 years too old. No,
I
Shaline's Cup is 15 and below because we already have the junior circuit,
Yep.
which goes up to 17. So I wanted to capture like the younger kids that didn't have a avenue to go and compete in. This was before nowadays the junior circuit has the under 12 category. Before this, they didn't have any. So Shaline's Cup was the only like really big major tournament for them to bowl in. But right now they have 12 in the junior circuit as well, which is good. So we go sometimes we have like for as young as 4 years old, 5 years old,
Wow.
really cute kids, yeah, bowling and competing, even though they get into the then they're just happy to be there. They'll cry, they'll laugh. But it's just the environment, the competition, for them to be able to like, wow, I'm competing in a really big competition with like, it's taking out all the lanes and stuff. So it's like somewhat like a stepping stone for them to go into a bigger arena. Yeah. So
And it's also
yeah.
easier to educate kids when they're younger, get the basics right, and then your strength and conditioning
Yes.
come in when you're older.
Yes.
So
Yes. To make sure they have uh the right thoughts when they first start, to
yeah,
get them like, okay, if I want to be good, I have to be disciplined, I have to do this, I have to do that. And usually like um before every squad, I'll give like a short pep talk and stuff like that to the kids and parents. Like thank all of them for coming, and yeah, and I just share whatever knowledge I have and like my experience with the kids, yeah, so that they can have somewhat feel of what is to come for them, yeah, in the future.
we started this whole interview with the whole MCO lockdown, as being parents, the Zoom classes were going on. And I believe that, once the MCO was released, you guys were actually led back onto the bowling alleys,
Yes.
but your coaches, or rather your coaching, was done online as well, correct?
Yeah, we had some others when we were not able to bowl during MCO. We had our gym sessions or team gym sessions online every day. We still had to do that, and then we had like some nutrition classes and like some talks with our coaches and so on. So even though physically we were not able to bowl, but our mind and our yeah, basically our mind was still into it throughout the whole duration. Yeah.
And would you say that moving forward, that this perhaps is an avenue for people such as yourself and other people in the industry, just not the sporting industry, whereby, coaching someone via in an online class for sports, is that a good thing, or no? You have to have that one-to-one in-person aspect to the whole situation.
I mean, one-to-one in person is always better than online, but if you're not able to be there physically, I think online is good enough. As long as you have the correct tools like videos and stuff, so you can see visually what they're doing. Because, like for example, if I'm coaching someone bowling, I can't just talk about it without watching them bowl, throw a ball. So you can have like video sessions, probably like FaceTime, instead of FaceTime, body time, where you can actually see them throw the whole shot. So then you
Yep.
can comment and stuff like that. But if, for example, is if one of my other students that I've coached for a bit, and then they show me the video, probably I can like, okay, you need to work on this. This is just recap on uh what are the things that I used to work on before with them, and then they can just pick it up. But probably for a new student, probably you have to take a longer time to explain every single thing, because they won't have that mind what you want them to do, because they don't have the experience with you. They don't know how you think.
Shalin, before I let you go, and the show is only 20 minutes because it's called In 20, what are your next three goals once we do return to norm and, the competitions start flowing internationally and locally? What are your three goals you're going to set for yourself in the lovely world of bowling?
First is to win a pro title. Um, I don't know. Two in bowling, but first is to win the pro title for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The other two, but the other one is to like build my other bowling, I think.
Yep.
And hopefully, if everything goes well, to pursue my studies again.
Oh, what are you studying?
I want to. I have a degree in sports psychology and coaching,
Okay.
but I want to, yeah, pursue my masters or and so on. Yeah,
I'm going to give
that's
you a
the
fourth
goals.
goal. Teach Roshan to be an international champion in the lovely field of bowling. Bowling? I can't even say the word right. I have
Bowling.
no hope. Shalin, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us. I wish you the best, and
You're welcome.
hopefully we
Thank
shall
you.
talk very soon. And best of luck with your 9-year-old energetic daughter. She's the boss.
Yes, she is. Thank you, Roshan.
Thank you. All right. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and turn on the notifications via our YouTube channel. Till the next time, take care.